We give all praises to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bashem Rakak Kudash. Double honors to the apostles. And salutations to the brothers in the four corners of earth pushing this truth and sincerity. Truth and sincerity. Alright. Uh the name of this video, America's Crumbling by the Hands of Yahawah Yahawashi. I repeat, America's crumbling by the hands of Yahawah Yahawashi. And this video right here is going to explain it all right here. Okay? I found this in shit hit the fan plan.com. It said rulers warn stocks will plunge if they default on the debt. I repeat, ruler warn stocks will plunge if they default on the debt. Right? I'm gonna read a couple of paragraphs from this. The United States ruling class is warning of economic turmoil if it defaults on its debt. The White House says to expect a deep recession and a stock market bloodbath as it plunged 45%. The deadline for the ruling class to lift the debt limit is rapidly approaching in early June as Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen exhausts all the departments of extraordinary measures. Most of those measures are nothing more than fear-mongering and propaganda. If a debt ceiling deal is in reach, it could mean that the Treasury forgoes Social Security payments, payments to Medicare and Medicaid, and ultimately payments to U.S. bondholders, according to the reports of by Yahoo News. Prepare for the new system. A crisis of epic proportion is coming. If the ruling class allow itself to default, it will surely use this as an excuse to usher a full control new slave system of the central bank digital currency. And this was the apostles been talking about, right? The MOTB is coming to a city near you, man. And this is what they leaning towards. They leaning towards from a tangible dollars that you can hold, you can see. They leaning towards what? A cashless society where they'll put the MOTB in your right hand or in your forehead. That's what they leading to, man. Right? All right. The end game of central bank digital currency, the closer the U.S. gets to the debt ceiling, the more we expect the market stress indicators to worsen, leading to increased volatility in equity and corporate bond markets, inhibiting firms' ability to finance themselves and engage in a productive investment that is essential for extending the current economic expansion. All right, I'm almost done. Additionally, millions of people will lose their jobs, and sharp economic contraction will lead to a massive recession in the CA warn. Right? In the third quarter of 2023, the first full quarter of simulate debt ceiling breach, the stock market plummet 45%, leading to a hit of retirement accounts. Meanwhile, consumer and business confidence and substantial hits, leading to a pullback in consumption and investment. And the CEA said adding the unemployment will increase by 5% points without the ability to spend a counter cyclical measures such as extended unemployment insurance, right? Federal and state government will be hamstrung in responding to this turmoil and unable to buffer household for the impact. All right. Let me see. However, according to CAA, U.S. Households among the slave class will be unable to turn to the private sector for loans because the interest rate for credit cards and personal loan will skyrocket. All right. What happened? And I'm gonna bring out another article. What would happen if U.S. default on their debt, right? You know how we correlate these articles with the scriptures, right? This is Habakkuk 2, verse 6. Habakkuk 2, verse 6. And I'm going to go to the Amplified Bible Classic Edition, Amplified Bible. Habakkuk 2, verse 6. Shall not all these victims of his greed take a baton against him and scoffing derision of him? Him say, woe to him who piles up that which is not his. That's right, he pile up which is not his. How long will he possess it? And woe to him who loads himself with promissory notes for usury. Ooh, promissory notes for usury. Don't the US dollar has a legal tender note on it? Right? It's really a IOU note, right? Because the gold standard and silver used to back it up, right? One time you could take a dollar, right? It says silver certificate. Then you could exchange that for a silver coin. Now you can't do that, right? And I got a video I would like to play, and this brother explains it. And look at the U.S. debt clock. Look at it, man. Right? 31 trillion 809 billion 340 million. And look at it's ticking. It's ticking away, man. Look at the U.S. national debt. 31 trillion. And Apostle Tahar said this is not really the accurate number. He says it's over 200 trillion. Right? Over 200 trillion. Right? And look at the debt. Look how U.S. federal tax revenue, look. 4 trillion, 4.5 trillion. Look. They're just going. They're just going and going and going, man. All right? All right, beautiful. So I'm going to go to this brother right here. He'll explain it. I'm going to go into, we're going to go about 4 minutes of the video, okay? Just listen to him.
We have an argument, if the politicians really cared, to basically point out that the Federal Reserve has breached a contract or an agreement between the United States of America, which represents the people, in regards to maintaining their promise of price stability as the sticker prices on the shelves of all the items we need continue to go sky high. So it looks like there's been a breach of contract, or is inflation in of itself the ultimate breach on a contract of trust? Let's talk about this. All right, so I want to take a quick minute, share some thoughts. My mind is racing.
I'm going to go 4 minutes into the video.
Shared a little snippet on Twitter as well as Instagram in reference to last night's talk, where I basically brought up the old contract agreement between the government and the central bank, the Federal Reserve of America from 1928. And how if you look at just the tweaking of words, where we used to have 50, 60 years ago, or actually 70.
Here we go right here, right? The U.S. dollar say redeemable in gold or demand at the United States Treasury or in the gold or lawful money of any Federal Reserve bank. So you can just take this dollar at one time, maybe get a gold coin or a silver coin. You could have did that back then, right? But back here it said note is legal tender, legal debt, public and private. Just because they make it legal, that don't mean it's lawful, right? Just like in the United States, where two men could get married, it's legal, but is it lawful? Fuck no, right? Two women could get married, they could legalize something, but is it lawful? Fuck no, right? It's wickedness, and that's why this place got to burn. All right, I'm gonna continue listening to this video.
Plus years ago, the terms of service or terms of use for the notes that we have in our hands here, it had a nice statement that gave it more validity for it being used as money or redeemable for money. Whereas in nowadays, the terms of use for these instruments here are completely ruining society as well as people's opportunity to save in these instruments here. So I just want to take a minute and share a quick thought. So as I see here, the PPI reached all-time high, or relatively a newer high of 9.6, give or take. And it got me thinking about the legality of this current monetary heist is underway. And so when I put that tweet out there about the terms of use, and so not only do we not really consider the fact that this instrument here, even though it's a debt, liability, a bill of credit, it's an IOU between two parties. We got the United States Treasury and the Federal Reserve, and we the people, because the Treasury represents the financial matters for our country, we're forced to use these instruments here. And as I think about it now, if we had any a right to pitch a fit and to argue and to basically just really clap back at our politicians, it's at the fact that the Federal Reserve Act, the Federal Reserve Bank itself, their only two mandates they gave themselves or Congress gave them umpteen decades ago, they're not living up to their half of the bargain. And so the one I'm referring to now is the price stability, the idea that they've given this notion that 2% inflation over time is healthy for the markets as well as keep the economy rolling. But they've shot past that, and it is beyond alarming. But yet, if you've been paying attention and awake and aware, you've expected this for quite some time. But one of the things that bother me most is trying to figure out how to reach more people who don't really realize how dangerous it is not to really look at the fine print of things. So I want to piggyback on this note right here. So, Federal Reserve note, we know what it is. But this ultimately is a debt instrument. It's a contract between two parties. And ultimately, with this inflation and PPI and all these other measures.
And you heard the brother, right? He said it's dead money, man. That money's fucking dead. I just don't understand how brothers be killing each other for this bullshit ass paper, man. Right? It doesn't really hold no weight, man. The currency back then in the ancient world was gold and silver, right? Gold and silver. This is people that people kill each other for. You know what I'm saying?
Measurements going bananas right now, to me that constitutes a breach of contract. Because if the Federal Reserve and the Treasury are supposed to work together on behalf of the people to provide price stability, nothing is stable, nothing makes sense. But then again, no one seems to really care.
And how the hell we gonna get out this debt? And if it's just a legal tender note, how the hell we gonna get out? How the hell United States is gonna get out this debt, right? Because the dollar don't hold no weight. How? Right? Even Europe money has more weight than a U.S. dollar. Even yuan. All right, Chinese money has more weight than the U.S. dollar. So United States ain't gonna never get out this hole. Never, man. Matter of fact, the Most High gonna shoot ICBM missiles to this fucked up place, man. Right? And these are the people that's leaving their country to come over here.
Because we know this is a part of a greater agenda of resetting our monetary system. But for those that are awake and in tune, we have a very interesting fight on our hands, because not only do we need to use these things because they're legal tender in the short term, but this is not lawful money. And I want to piggyback on that tweet I just put out there, talking about there's a difference between being legal and lawful. And as I said, over time, they've changed the word. They tweaked the words on these instruments here, and it's flown under the radar for quite some time now. But I think it's time to highlight that just a little bit so people can realize that these instruments here do not belong to you. These are contracts between two parties. You happen to be the third party, which is the user of these instruments here. But this little term of service right here, this term of use, it says this note is legal tender for all debts. It doesn't say this note is legal tender for all debts and for you to save and depend upon it for your financial future. That's not what this is for. So ultimately, this contract, just in the terminology here, and mind you, I'm not into the legal field. I don't know. Just some thoughts I want to share with you. But if these terms of use right here constitutes the agreement I have with these two parties here, this note is legal tender, meaning that I must extend this to you, and you must accept it because it's legal. That doesn't make it lawful, because it says nothing about savings. It says for debts. So ultimately, this thing is meant to circulate. It's never designed to park and stand still, because right now, with the current environment we're in now, with all these numbers going berserk, these instruments here become a liability for you to hold on to for a long period of time.
I mean, it really is interesting to see these European countries move to negative interest rates. And in a way, I'm surprised that there hasn't been more pickup in the demand for cash. Cash is not a very convenient store of value.
And so,
in other words, the U.S. dollar is a piece of shit, man. The U.S. dollar is a piece of shit. All right, so this brother explains it well, man. Just because it's legal, that don't mean it's lawful, right? This dollar don't hold no weight. There's no gold backs it up, or silver back up the U.S. dollar, man. They already took that standard away. right? They took that standard away. All right, beautiful. So what we gonna do? What happened? What happened of United States default? All right, look at another precept. This is. Did I read this earlier? I think I read this. Let me see. Hold on a second. All right. All right. This is the Habakkuk 2:4-6 contemporary English version. This is the CEV. Habakkuk 2:4-6. I, Yahawah, refuse to accept anyone who is proud. Only those who live by faith are acceptable to me. Wine is treacherous, and arrogant people are never satisfied, right? That's Esau. Esau is arrogant. And of course, we got arrogant people among Israel too, right? Especially the ones with the college degrees. You know, their nose is puffed up. Their nose is to the cloud. Like they shit don't stink, right? Most High got a missile for they dumbasses too, right? Let me continue reading. They are no less greedy than death itself. They open their mouth as wide as the world of the dead and swallow everyone. But they will be mocked with these words. You're doomed. You store up stolen goods and cheat others of what belonged to them. And that's how America got, that's how the so-called white man got America, right? Then they stole this land from the natives, right? Stole their goods, right? Just like in the land of Hispaniola, now it's a Dominican Republic, right? What they did to the natives there, they made them work in gold mines, right? To sun up to sundown, man, no breaks, right? To retrieve gold and silver to take it to Queen Elizabeth and Ferdinand, right? I forgot his name right now, but anyway, so and that's what they did. That's what they did. Bitch ass Christopher Columbus, man. All right. They worked the natives. They stole. You store up stolen goods and cheat others in what belonged to them. Right? That gold belonged to the natives. They was there before y'all pale face, blonde hair, and blue eyed devils came into the land of Hispaniola. Right? Right? The natives was here first before y'all came to this land. Right? So, and what the scripture said. All right, let me get something real quick. This is Numbers, I think is 35, I believe. 35. Let's see something real quick. Numbers 35. Let's see, 33. Numbers 35:33. This is the NIV. Do not pollute the land where ye are. Bloodshed pollutes the land. An atonement cannot be made for the land on which blood has been shed, except by the blood of one who shed it. Right? Do not defile the land where you live and where I dwell, for I, Yahawah, dwell among the Israelites. And that's what happened. You defile this land by killing, all right, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom on this land. So now to purify this land, your blood is required, right? Yahawah got to shed your blood, man, right? Right? Blood is required. That's why we don't want no reparation. We want your fucking blood, Esau. We want your head on a platter, man. You sick bitch. Can't stand you, man. Right? All right. So this is another article I would like to bring out. Whom does the United States owe nearly 31 trillion in debt? All right. I'm gonna read a couple paragraphs on this. The U.S. has about 30.9 trillion in national debt, according to the latest data from Treasury Department. And that total will reach a record 31 trillion as early as later in the month. Roughly 24.3 trillions of American total public debt outstanding consists of debt held by the public, right? Yeah, what through credit cards? Was that student loans? What car notes? Right. This is the debt that we owe: 20.3 trillions of American total public debts. Right. Yeah. So the debt be The debt held by the public and 6 trillion in intra-governmental holdings, according to the Monday data from the Treasury Department. The U.S. national debt nears 31 trillion. How it compares with other countries, right? Let me get straight to the point. About a third of the debt held by the public is held by the foreign holders. Foreign countries hold a total of roughly 7.4 trillion of U.S. debt at the end of June, the most recent month with available data. This is what I'm looking for. Japan is the largest holder with about 1.2 trillion in treasury security. Behind Japan, the four countries with the largest U.S. debt holding are China, 967.8 billion, right? The UK 915.4 billion. Luxembourg, there we go. Cayman Islands and so on. So pretty much we owe these countries a lot of money, man. All right, we owe these countries a lot of money, man. Right? And the debt just keep rising and rising, man. Keep increasing and increasing. Right? So let me bring out a precept real quick. This is Zephaniah 1:11 through 18, the KJV. How ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off. Right? And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their leads, that say in their heart, Yahawah will not do good, neither will he do evil. All right. All right. Yeah, okay, keep thinking that. All right. Especially among our people. Our people is proud. The ones that got money is proud as fuck, man. Right? Y'all settling your leads, y'all complacent, y'all comfortable. Right? Therefore, 13, therefore their goods shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. Right? They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. All right, this is Zephaniah 1, verse 14. The great day of Yahawah is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of Yahawah, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. The day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, right? A day of clouds and thick darkness, right? A day of trumpet and alarm against the fenced city and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against Yahawah. In their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung. Right? So this place going down, man. Even if they pay, even if they uphold and print more money, right? And they don't default, it's just gonna get worse and worse and worse, man. It's just gonna get worse and worse. And they might do it after Memorial Weekend because the government is pretty much on a leave right now. And I think a lot of them devils is coming like the mid of maybe the first or the second week of June. And they're gonna make a decision, you know, to print more money and not default on their damn debt. Right? Most likely they will, right? But there's gonna be a time, right? And there's gonna be a time where they're gonna default and this place is gonna go down the fucking toilet. It's really going down the toilet right now as we speak. Because things are just getting worse and worse and worse, right? Now, right, this article is a really beautiful article right here. Here's what would happen to the global economy if the U.S. default on its debt, right? Okay, this came out, May 22nd of 2023. If the debt crisis rolling Washington were eventually to send United States, right, crashing into recession, American economic would hardly sink alone. The repercussion of the first ever default of the federal debt would quickly reverberate around the world, right? So it's like a ricochet effect, right? is going to trickle to the other countries also. Orders for Chinese factories that sell electronics to the United States could dry up. Swiss investors who owns U.S. Treasury would suffer loss. Sri Lanka companies could no longer deploy dollars as an alternative to their dodgy currency. No corner of the global economy would be spared if the U.S. government default and the crisis were resolved quickly, said Mark Zandi, chief economist at at Moody Analytics. Right? Well, so I'm gonna jump down real quick. Why Biden is cautious about using the 14th Amendment to address the debt ceiling crisis. Zandi and two colleagues at Moody's have concluded that even the debt limit were breached for no more than a week, the U.S. economy would weaken so much so fast as to wipe out roughly 1.5 million jobs, and that just in 1 week, right? And if the government default were to last much longer, well into the summer, the consequences would be far more dire. Zandi and his colleagues found it to, in their analysts, U.S. economy growth would sink. 7.8 million American jobs would vanish. Borrowing rates would jump. The unemployment rate will soar from the current 3.4% to 8% and the stock market plunge will erase 10 trillion in household wealth. Woo! Man. So the United States would suffer. In other words, we will go to a third world country, man. Right? We won't be no different from Honduras and these other countries that's poor. Right? It won't be no different. But this would be a ricochet effect. Right? It would affect all the other countries, man. And that's why Russia, right, and China and Iran is really dumping the U.S. dollar. They come in, they dealing with a different currency, right? So, United States is finished, man. All right, this is Ezekiel 7, verse 19. Ezekiel 7, verse 19. All right, I'm going to read in the KJV. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of Yahawah. Right? In other words, your money ain't going to save you. Right? All your niggas that got all this money in your bank account, Edomites, all y'all got mutual fund, 401k plan, CD certificates, none of that shit going to save your monkey ass. Right? They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. Right? This is the NLV, New Living Translation. They would throw their money in the streets, right? They would throw their tangible dollars. They're going to throw that shit in the street, tossing it like a worthless trash. They silver and gold won't save them on the day of Yahweh's anger. It would neither satisfy nor feed them, for their greed can only trip them up. Right? So your money ain't gonna save you in the last days. Oh yeah, niggas got this fat bank account. That ain't gonna save you, man. Right? The Most High gonna destroy this place. Because this place is full of wickedness, man. This place is full of wickedness. All right, and I'm almost done. This is Proverbs 11. Proverbs 11, 1 through 9. And I'm almost done. Proverbs 11, 1 through 9. This is the Good News Translation, GNT. All right, Proverbs 11, 1 through 9, GNT. The Lord hates people who use dishonest scales. He is happy with honest weight. Just like the legal tender note. It's a what? It's a dishonest scale, right? It's a worthless legal tender note. And that brother explained it in this video earlier, right? Just like when you get a bag of chips, you spend like what, $2.99 for a big giant bag of chips, and when you open it, it's full of air, and there's only a small amount in these bag of chips, right? So that's a dishonest scale. Verse 2, people who are proud will soon be disgraced. It is wiser to be modest. It is wiser to be modest. If you are good, you are guided by honesty. People who can't be trusted are destroyed by their own dishonesty. And that's Esau. He's gonna be destroyed by his what? Dishonesty. He's wicked, passing laws that two men could get married, two women could get married, right? You could marry a dog or a horse or a tree, long as you're in love, right? With that being or thing. This man is wicked, man, right? Riches will do you no good on the day you face death. By honesty can save your life, but honesty can't save your life. But Esau wasn't designed to be honest. He's a liar, a treacherous, and a wicked ass person, man. Right? He's the devil that the Bible speak of. Right? Honesty makes a good person life easier, but the wicked will cause their own downfall. There we go. Righteousness rescues those who are honest, right? But those who cannot be trusted are trapped by their own greed. When the wicked die, there's hope dies with them. Confidence placed in riches comes to nothing. You know, you put confidence in your riches. Oh, I got a lot of money. I'm set. I'm good. Right? But it's not going to save you from death. It's not going to save you for those missiles. You know? But you're gonna pay gonna pay your Yahawashi your shot. What you gonna give $1 million to save you for the missiles? Nah, it don't works that way, right? It don't works that way. Confidence placed in riches comes to nothing, right? The righteous are protected from trouble. It comes to the wicked instead, right? 9, you can be ruined by the talk of godless people, but the wisdom of righteous can save you, right? And that's why we were so drawn to the apostles when we first came in this truth, right? We was memorized, we were hypnotized by the words and the breakdown of the apostles of GMS, man, right? Because it says, but the wisdom of the righteous can save you, right? Because they are the prophets of Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, right? You know, the Bible is a guide to what? To eternal life, man. Right? The Bible is a guide to redemption, right? Healing, right? Right? The Bible leads you to salvation, right? Through the word of Yahawah Shem Yahawashi, man. That's the only thing that could save you. So, y'all brothers and sisters, y'all better lean towards Yahawah Shem Yahawashi. Choose the winning team, man. Choose the winning team. And that's Yahawah Shem Yahawashi, man. America's falling. This place is done. This place is done. All right? Fuck this place, man. Put more curses on this place, man. Pray for the downfall of Esau. Pray for the downfall of our enemies, man. Right? Don't depend on this U.S. dollar. Don't depend on your bank account. The Most High said right there. It's going what? Let's go back. It said, Proverbs 11 verse 9. You can be ruined by the talk. Wait, let's see. It's verse 7. When the wicked die, their hope dies with them. Confidence placed in riches comes to nothing. Right? Your silver, gold, your money's not going to save you in the last days, man. This place is finished. All right? So the name of this video, America is Crumbling by the hands of Yahawah, Yahawashi. And he's starting with the economy, man. That's how he's doing it. That's how the ancient Roman Empire fell. By what? How he do it? By the economy. All right, see y'all brothers and sisters on the next video. We give all praises to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Hashem Rakak Dash. Death to America, death to Esau, 2/3, and these heathens, man. And death to these flaming fairies. See y'all in the next video. Shalom.